got me going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The amazing word now. When man uses the word now, it's quite different than when God uses the word now. My brother, he'll say, I'll be over there now, a couple of minutes, meaning now, and 3 hours later you're still waiting on him. That's not what God means. Sometimes he might come the next day.
Sounds like your kid.
But that's not what God means when he says now. And I've been researching the word now and where Jesus used it. And every time that the Bible is, the word now is used, it's a present happening thing. When God uses the word now, it means that God is building on this thing right now. He's causing it to grow, even as he speaks. When the word comes out of his mouth, when I believe in the Bible, when God said, "Let there be grass," while the word was coming out of his mouth, before the sound stopped happening, grass was already coming up out of the ground. And when he said, "Let there be light," before the last T got out of that syllable, light was already present on the place. It is a present happening event when God uses the word now. And the reason I'm excited about this word is because God used that word with me just about 4 days ago. I heard the Lord in a dream say, "Now I can build onto you." And you know what I think? I think the Lord meant, I'm going to build onto you everything. Not just ministry, but everything that goes with it. And when God builds it, now listen, when God does the work, that means that you don't have to work hard at it. Test this out. This is prophecy. Go talk to other people that God has done this too. Abraham, go look in Abraham's life in the Bible, where God said, Abraham, I'm going to multiply your seed. There is literally billions of Jews on the earth today. There's people, a few years ago I found out that I was part Jewish. I'm of Abraham's seed and didn't even know it. So I thought about I wonder how many people there is out there that is of Abraham's seed and don't even know it. So when God says I'm doing it, see, it's a thing. When God does the work, that means you don't have to work hard at it. Now I know Abraham had to wait, but God didn't use the word now there. But with me, he used the word now. Another amazing thing about this word now, when Jesus was getting ready to go to the cross, he was trying to talk his disciples out of literally committing suicide. There was only 12 of them against the whole Roman army, and they would have easily been wiped out. And Peter, he grabbed a sword here, and he whacked off one of the guard's ears, and this is Matthew 26:51. It says, "And behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand, drew his sword, and struck a servant of the high priest, and smote off his ear." And the servant of the high priest, probably a Roman guard. Then said Jesus to him, "Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword." And this is what he said right here. "Thinkest thou that I cannot now," hear the word now in there? "That I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scripture be fulfilled, that thus it must be?" That all this, Jesus was saying, must be. This stuff has to happen. But when the Lord used the word now there, he used it so that they would know that within the breath of his speaking, he would be delivered. Listen, if the Lord had said so, the word came out of his mouth, at that moment, all those soldiers and everybody that came out against him would have been instantly killed. There would have been angels there faster than you could blink your eye. All of them with a drawn sword, and all of them with a piercing into the flesh. Jesus would have been delivered before the W out of the word now got out of his mouth. And that's another amazing thing about Jesus going to the cross. They left the most dangerous part of him loose all that time. His mouth. His mouth never was gagged. He never was restricted from speaking. As a matter of fact, there were those stood around hearing words that he said, speaking into the crowd. And he used words like, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Our words truly are a preeminent view of what's going to happen in our life. And God has used this word now with me, and I'm excited about the word now because he said now. Sometimes I don't catch things like that. But one of the things I hope that God does is heal my mind in the way that I speak and the way that I think, and make it better toward him and toward communication, that I can do a better job for him. And you know, when God uses the word now for you and for his people, when Jesus gets up from that throne and when he walks out and the Father says, "Go get my children now," Jesus is going to it'll be before the W gets out of the Father's mouth. Jesus is going to be right here. He'll already be on earth when the W comes out of the syllable now. You know what I mean? Out of that phrase now, Jesus will be on the earth. Go now, get my children. Man, you know what? I just wish it would happen today. You know what I mean? I just wish it would take place. And that's the Lord. But I know there's a lot of work to do. God's got ministries to build, just like he says, now I'm going to build onto you. God has things that he has planned. He's got a lot of people that he's got to save. God talked to me from Kenya yesterday, wanting people to come and preach the gospel over there. And I'm willing to go. If the Lord makes a way, I'll go any place that God will send me. I'll preach this gospel all around the world. And I preach it on TV, I preach it in revivals, I preach it on radio, I preach it to people that I go preach it to other people, and preach it on YouTube. I'm looking for ways, open doors right now, and you can do the same thing. Listen, keep your ears open, hearing for that word now coming from God, because he has the same thing in mind for you. God has a time in your life when he's going to use the word now. Present tense, meaning things happening now for you. Alrighty? So God bless. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you again next time, tomorrow, right here with another great subject on Cross in the Middle Ministry. God bless.